This is Scott the Fix-It Guy. Today we're putting on new motor brushes on a Fridgidaire front-loading washing machine because it won't do agitation and it won't do spin. This is the front of the motor, and the black things here on the right and left side are the motor brushes. So to get to the motor brushes, first unplug the machine, make sure there's no power. We're going to remove 2 1/4-inch screws that hold on the lower panel. So this is a pretty easy procedure because these brushes are accessible from the front of the machine once you get the lower panel off. So now we'll pull the lower panel off, and then the motor is going to be a little bit to my left side, and I'm going to reach in there with some needle nose pliers and pull the little spade connector off of the left motor brush. All I got to do is just grab it and lift it off. It's just a regular spade connector. And then I'll take a Phillips head screwdriver, and I just have to remove 2 Phillips head screws that are holding it on. I'm also pulling the spade connector off of the right side brush. So we don't have to pull out the motor, we can just get to the motor brushes. Not all Fridgidaire front-loading washing machines have this. This is usually an older type. So I'm removing the 2 Phillips head screws that hold on the brush. Brushes are made out of carbon, and they have a spring behind them, and it pushes the brush into the stator, but they wear out. And when they get too worn out, the motor won't even move, and you don't have agitation, and you don't have spin. It can also be due, though, to a motor control that's faulty. So I like to use my multi-tester to put on the spade connector to see if there's power. If there is power and the motor's not turning, then it's often just a worn out motor brush. So the chunks of carbon get shorter and shorter as time goes by. So in this case, I'm going to be taking the plastic case that had the old motor brush apart. I just pulled the back off. I'm going to pull out the old motor brush, and I'm going to put in a new one, because the new case that came with the motor brush doesn't quite match the old one, but it's okay. I'll just use the carbon brush inside, and I'll replace it and put it in the old plastic case. So once I get it into position, I'll just put the old case back on and snap it shut. I got the new one with the much longer carbon brush. It's about 4 times longer than the old one. I'm going to push it in to position, and then I'll put in the 2 Phillips head screws to hold it on. It has little plastic pins behind the brush that fit into 2 holes in the metal of the motor, so it's really easy to seat it back in, and then the 2 screws hold it into position. Once I have it locked down, I'll just put the little spade electrical connector back on, and then that one's done. So again, pretty easy because it's all done from the front of the washing machine. So now I'll use my Phillips head screwdriver and I'll remove the brush on the right side. Just 2 screws holding it in. Sometimes you will not get high-speed spin due to a faulty door lock. It is not always the motor brush. If it won't agitate and it won't spin, then it could be either the brushes or the motor control. So here's the old one and the new one. And once again, I'm going to switch cases. I'm going to take the new carbon brush and put it in the old plastic case, because the new plastic case that came with it doesn't fit very well. Easy to do, though. You can just pull apart the old case, pull apart the new case, and just take out the old brush out of the old case and put the new brush in the old case, snap it shut, and then you're ready to put it back in. When I reinstalled this, the motor ran really strong. It'll be noisy for the first few cycles as the brushes wear in, and then it'll do really well. It can get the motor to last another 5 to 10 years. And again, not all Frigidaire front-load washing machines have these replaceable brushes. This is an older type. So I did the old switcheroo. I've got the new brush in the old plastic case. Now I just put the back on, and all you have to do is just snap it in. It'll snap shut. There we go. And now we'll put that in. This is the one on the right side. So I'm just going to push the carbon brush in against the stator, and it's a spring, so it'll collapse, and then has the two plastic pins behind it that fit right into the motor, and then I'll put the screws in to hold it. After that, I'll just slip on that spade connector, plug it back in, then we can take it for a test. So in this machine, I'd already ruled out that it was not the door lock and it was not the motor control. If you're not getting agitation and not getting spin, good chance it's just worn out brushes. Tightening those two up. I'm going to reach in there and put the spade connector back on. And get it all plugged in, get the power back, set it for spin. And there we go. So thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe when you get a chance.